Hello students, welcome to zoology class. In this video, we are going to know about linkage. Soon after the discovery of Mendel laws of inheritance, scientists have started checking whether those rules or those laws are correct or not. So in these experiments, scientists came to know that independent assortment does not work always. So what independent assortment law says? So according to law of independent assortment, when gametes are being formed, two alleles of the same gene will separate and they will go into different gametes separately. So if two genes are found on the same chromosome, then what will happen? These genes will not assort independently, or they will not go into different gametes. Why? Because they are on the same chromosome. So, but at the time of Mendel, the idea of chromosomes were not there. So later, this thing was discovered in a process of checking whether Mendelian laws are correct or not. So genes that are inherited together are said to be linked. So that process or that phenomenon is called as linkage. So genes which are present on a single chromosome, they will go collectively, they will go unitedly into a gamete while gametes are being formed. So this is called as linkage. So all these genes which are present on the same chromosome are said to be linked. So and genes located on different chromosomes, they are not linked, so that they may follow independent assortment law, but not the genes present on the same chromosome. So when the genes present on different chromosomes, when they are tested in dihybrid ratio in the F2 generation, what will happen? 9:3:3:1 ratio will be gained, or we can get 9:3:3:1 ratio. But when they are present on the same chromosome, these two traits that are being tested in dihybrid ratio, as they are linked together, as they are present on the same chromosomes, we cannot get new combinations, so that we cannot get this 9:3:3:1 ratio in F2 generation. So, and in terms of linkage also, linkage is also, it is not completely linked. So linkage can be a complete linkage, or another thing, incomplete linkage. So genes located very close together on the same chromosome are said to be linked completely. So when the both genes are present on the same chromosome and they are very closely arranged on the same chromosome, then they will be completely linked. And if the genes present on the same chromosome, they are not very close, in fact they are very far away from each other, then such type of genes are said to be called as linked incompletely. Why? Because such type of genes may participate in a process called crossing over. About this crossing over, we are going to know in next video. So such type of genes which are placed far away on the same chromosome, they may undergo in this crossing over and they may give some new recombinations. As a result, they may be separated and they may enter into, or they may be a part of different chromosomes of the same pair. So such type of in such type of situations, we can see new combinations also. So in incomplete linkage case, we can find new combinations, but in complete linkage case, we cannot find new combinations in F2 generation. And here in this slide, we can see, so as we all know, we are diploid organisms. For each character, two chromosomes will be there, two genes will be there, and two chromosomes of the pair. So here on these genes, we are seeing A, B, C genes. So here we can see A gene is located here and B, C are, they are far away from A. So here in this case, B and C genes are closely arranged, and whereas both these genes are arranged in a distant place when from this A gene. So A and B are incompletely linked, whereas B and C are completely linked. So here in this thing also we have taken another example, D, E and EF. EF are completely linked, whereas D and E or D and F are incompletely linked genes. So, and how this linkage phenomenon was discovered? So in the beginning of this 20th century, 1901 year, in 1901 year, like that, this Mendel laws were discovered by the different scientists. So soon after the discovery of this Mendelism or Mendel laws, scientists started doing experiments to check whether the Mendelism is correct or not. So in such experiments, Sutton and Boveri, they conducted some experiments in 1903, and they were discovered that dihybrid ratios in F2 generation, they did not give the expected results. So the expected result should give 9:3:3:1 ratio, but these persons, Sutton and Boveri, they failed to get such type of ratios. So later Sutton proposed a chromosome theory of inheritance. Chromosome theory of inheritance. So according to this theory proposed by Sutton, genes are located on the same chromosome. So when the genes are present on the same chromosome, they will go into the same cell during the gamete formation. So such type of genes will fail to show independence assortment, and in such cases only dihybrid ratios will not give expected results like 9:3:3:1. But this was proposed by Sutton to this is correct, but he failed to prove his predictions experimentally. Later, not very late, in 1905, two other scientists, William Bateson and Reginald Punnett, they also conducted experiments to check the validity of Mendelism. So they conducted experiments on sweet pea plant. Its scientific name is Lathyrus odoratus. And particularly, they conducted experiments on these plants, taking some characters, and those characters are flower color and pollen shape. So in this case, flower color is having two colors, blue color and red color. Blue color is dominant over the red color, and pollen shape is two types of pollen shapes are possible in sweet peas: long pollen and round pollen. Long pollen is dominant over the round pollen. So they conducted these dihybrid experiments, taking these flower color and pollen shapes. So they conducted two types of experiments. In one experiment, they have taken blue flowers and long pollen, and another plant red flowers and round pollen plants. And in another cross, they have changed the characters. In one plant, they have taken red flowers and long pollen, blue flowers and round pollen. So totally two types of experiments they were conducted, taking different combinations of these two characters. So in F1 generations, the results were in accordance with Mendel rules. So the law of dominance and law of segregations were followed in, or they found that these two laws are accurate in F1 results. But when they conducted test crosses with F1 generation plants, and the resulted F2 generation plants, they did not give the expected 1:1:1:1 ratio. So in self-fertilization, in self-cross, in F2 generation, we will get 9:3:3:1 ratio. But when we use test crossing to get F2 generation, in Mendelism, 1:1:1:1 ratio should be should be come. So, but in these test crosses, they did not get these 1:1:1:1 ratio. They did get some other ratios. So these results led them to propose a gametic coupling and repulsion theory. So let us know what is gametic and coupling theory. So in the first experiment, they have taken two plants as parents. blue flowers and long pollen, capital B, capital B, capital L, capital is the genotype of this plant, and small b, small L is another plant genotype. Phenotypes are red flowers and round pollen. So, and they will produce only one type of gametes. All gametes will have a dominant allele, and both dominant alleles for these two genes, B, capital L in these plants, and small b, small L in these plants. So as a result, what will happen? Heterozygous plants will come in F1 generation, and all heterozygous plants, they will contain the dominant characters, that is blue flowers and long pollen. And what they did in second cross, they have chosen test cross. In test cross, definitely we have to take recessive plant, homozygous recessive plant. So homozygous recessive plant is red flowers and round pollen. So this is not self crossing. So this is test crossing. So when they did this test crossing to get F2 generation, in the F2 generation, 4 different combinations were collected. And these combinations, they did not follow 1:1:1:1 ratio. Instead, they followed 7:1:1:7 ratio. So this first 7 and last 7, these are the parent characters. Okay, P1 generation characters. But these two 1:1 ratios, these are the new combinations that were not present in the parent generation. So in fact, if it is following the independent assortment, the result should be all combinations should come in equal proportions or equal ratios. That is 25%, 25%, 25%. But here they have got this 7:1:1:7 ratio. So due to these results, they thought, what they proposed, that when parents' gametes are having both dominant alleles, when both dominant alleles are present on the same chromosome, they will prefer to go collectively into gametes. So that's why only here in this case, this blue flowers and long pollen, and the red flowers and round pollen, these plants, both recessive alleles and both these dominant alleles, they showed very close linkage. So that was proposed by them as coupling. So coupling of gametes or gametic coupling. And in another experiment, they have taken blue flowers and round pollen. Here blue flowers are dominant and round pollen is a recessive feature. And another plant, red flowers and long pollen. Red flowers is recessive and long pollen is dominant. So, and in F1 generation, all they were having both the dominant features in this, that is blue flowers and long pollen. It is heterozygous. When it is subjected to test cross in the F2 generation, again 4 combinations were obtained by them. But these 4 combinations, 1:7:7:1 ratio. 1:7:7:1 ratio. See, so these this thing what here in this case, the recessive alleles, one here, see, in the parent generation, one dominant both dominant alleles, and next pair is having recessive alleles. So when different types of alleles, that means for different genes, dominant and recessive alleles are present on the same chromosome, they repel each other. So that's why only parental generation features or parental generation phenotypes were obtained in less ratios, like 1:1 only. But these new combinations, they were obtained in more numbers, 7:7. So here the parental gametes are showing repellence, they are repelling each other. So when both gametes are when both genes are same, either dominant ones or recessive ones, they are attracted towards each other, or they are coupled strongly. They will not assort independently. So that was called in earlier experiment as gametic coupling. Here in this case, one gene is having both dominant alleles, another gene is having both recessive alleles. When such type of situation is there, these two different genes, they will repel each other so that they will assert independently, and so that what is happening, they are not giving expected all one ratios, but instead 1:7:7:1 ratio. So this was called as gametic repulsion or gametic repellence. So, and later, T.H. Morgan also conducted experiments on Drosophila melanogaster, that is fruit fly. And he stated that coupling and repulsion are two aspects of linkage. So, linkage theory was proposed by Morgan, and he defined linkage as the tendency of the genes present on the same chromosome to remain in their original combination and to enter into the same gamete. So this was the definition given by Morgan for this linkage. And the genes located on the same chromosome and are being inherited together are known as linked genes. And the characters controlled by these genes are called as linked characters. And the recombinations frequency will always be less than 50% for these linked characters. All those genes which are located on the single chromosome form linkage group, same linkage group. And the total number of linkage groups in the organism will be equal to the total number of chromosome pair. For example, in human beings, we are having 23 pairs of chromosomes. So that means we are having 23 linkage groups. And it is linkage groups number is 7 in sweet pea and 4 in melanogaster, Drosophila melanogaster. So theory of linkage, what it is saying, it was proposed by Morgan and Castle. So the salient features of linkage theory like this: genes that show linkage are situated on the same chromosome. Genes are arranged in a linear fashion or in a systematic order in the chromosome. So this is called the linearity of genes. And genes which are closely located show strong linkage, and whereas they are widely separated, they show weak linkage. And linked genes remain in their original position or original combinations during course of inheritance. And the linked genes show two types of arrangement on the chromosome. When both dominant genes are both recessive genes are present on the pair of the chromosomes, then such type of arrangement is called cis arrangement. Say, for example, on one chromosome, capital A, capital B genes are there. On another chromosome of the same pair, small a, small b genes are there. If it is like that, such type of arrangement is called cis arrangement. One dominant and one recessive genes are present in case of these linked genes on both the chromosomes of the same pair. Such type of arrangement is called as trans arrangement. And there are two types of linkages. One is complete linkage, another one is incomplete linkage. In complete linkage, two or more characters inherit together, and consistently they appear in two or more generations in their original or parental combinations. That means new combinations will not be received by the breeders in this case, and genes do not produce non-parental combinations. So they will produce only parental combinations, but not the non-parental combinations. And genes showing complete linkage are closely located in the same chromosome. And example for this thing was given by Morgan experiments. He conducted experiments on Drosophila. In Drosophila, F1 male showed this complete linkage. So here in the experiment conducted by Morgan, he has taken this Drosophila melanogaster fruit flies. In one experiment, he has taken a male. This male is having a gray body color and small wings. Okay, so gray body is a dominant feature. It is denoted by capital B gene, and small wings are vestigial wings. They are denoted by small v. And whereas a male, whereas female is having a black body, it is recessive feature, small b gene, controlled by small b gene, and it is having long wings. So these long wings are denoted by this capital V gene. This is dominant feature. So in this way, he has taken two, one male and one female, and male is having a dominant gray color body and vestigial wings, and female is having a recessive black color body and long wings. So in the F1 generation, all F1 generations automatically they will receive dominant, they will exhibit dominant phenotype only. So in this dominant phenotype, it is showing a gray color body and long wings. So even though it is heterozygous, it is showing dominant features, gray color body and long wings. So when it is subjected to test cross, so in test cross, what is happening? So these both parental characters, both parental phenotypes only were obtained in F2 generation. So in the F2 generation, again, we are getting mother of this parent generation. So it is having a black body and long wings, and another 0.5% they are having a gray body and vestigial wings like father of the parent generations. So in this case, what is happening? Both these genes which are present in this male, they are not separating, they are completely linked together. So in this way, these male genes, these male parent genes are completely linked, and they are inheriting to the future generations in as it is condition or in completely linked condition. So this is example for complete linkage. Another one is incomplete linkage. In incomplete linkage, what may happen? Apart from parent generation, new combinations like non-parental combinations also may arise due to occurrence of crossing over or genetic recombinations. So this is possible only when the genes are distantly located on the chromosome, and due to accidental or occasional breakage of chromosome segments also it may possible. And in the same experiments conducted by Morgan, F1 female showed incomplete linkage. So here in this another experiment conducted by Morgan, he has taken gray and vestigial parent, gray and vestigial male, and female is having black and long wings, and all gametes, they are having this what hetero gametes are there, and F1 individuals are heterozygous, they are having gray and long wings. So when test cross is done, so the female of this F1 generation, so female is having gray and long wing. So from the F1 generation, he has taken only female organisms, and he has crossed them with male recessive, that is black and vestigial. So he has crossed these F1 females with recessive males having black body and vestigial wings. So in this case, they have got the 4 new combinations. In earlier experiments, you can see in earlier experiments, new combinations were not obtained. Only parental combinations were obtained. But in this experiment, in which F1 females are crossed with a recessive male, some new combinations are also were obtained. So in this case, these 8.5, total 17% of these two combinations are new. So 17% of new combinations were obtained in F2 generations when F1 female is test crossed with a recessive male. So what this experiment is telling us that in F1 female, these genes are not completely linked. They are showing some recombinations. So that's why this F1 females are best example for classical example for incomplete linkage. And what is the significance of linkage? Linkage plays a very important role in determining the nature of the scope of hybridization and selection programs. So for the breeders who conduct breeding experiments and hybridization experiments, they need to know they need to know the linkage condition of the genes that they are keeping in mind. Say, for example, when dairy people are doing hybridization experiments with these cattle, they want to concentrate on only those genes that are responsible for milk production. So they want to know the linkage condition of those milk producing genes. So likewise, different types of breeders will concentrate on different type of characters. So for those characters, they need to know the linkage position of the genes. So that's why these breeders, hybrid experiment fellows, they need to know the linkage position of for the respective genes. And linkage reduces the chance of recombinations, so that it will hold the parent characters together. So it will prevent the origin of new characters, or it prevents the occurrence of evolution also. So in this way, some racial characters will be maintained. And for this reason, plant and animal breeders find it difficult to combine various characters due to linkages. So this is the significance of linkage. With this, this topic is over. We shall meet with another topic in next video.